Hi kids, thank you for joining us at Johnny Kingdom. Today, I'm learning some really cool new words, like Indaba. It's the Zulu word for meeting. Welcome to our amazing African animal adventure afternoon. Wow! That is a lot of A's. 5 A's! It's Tuesday, July 20. I'm Koa and I'm here as one of your hosts today. Together we are going to discover more about God's amazing animals. And now, over to my co-host.
Good afternoon from me. I am Naeema. Whether you're from Oregon or Washington or farther away, a very warm welcome to you. Thanks for joining us on an adventure where we learn more about African wildlife.
We will make some cool discoveries. I can't wait to experience our lineup.
With us today is Pastor Shirley Allen, our Oregon Conference Children's Ministry Director. She spent most of her life in South Africa and loves talking about all things African. Pastor Shirley, what animal have you chosen for us today?
Hi there, boys and girls. So good to be here speaking to you today. What do you know about lions? We hear a lot about lions, but here is something about lions that may surprise you. Female lions usually do most of the hunting for their pride or family group. A hunting female is very patient. Much of the time that she spends hunting is actually spent stalking and hiding in the grass, waiting for her prey to come close. She waits because although she can run very fast, she cannot run at top speed for very long. So the lion understands that to catch a fast animal, such as a zebra or a wildebeest, she needs to move very close before she attacks. A female lion patiently waits until the prey comes closer. Proverbs 14 verse 29 says, "A patient man has great understanding, but a quick-tempered man displays folly." Patience is important for us too. God wants us to be patient when other people do things that make us impatient with them. We may want to yell or hit or get angry, but God's word tells us that if we want to be people who have understanding, we need to have patience. Sometimes it's easy to be patient with others, but other times it's hard to be patient. But just like the lion, being patient is usually worth the wait. We can ask God for patience because He loves us and will help us become more patient. Sometimes it's easy to be patient with others, but other times it's hard to be patient. Just like the lion, being patient is usually worth the wait. We can ask God for patience. He loves us and will help us become more patient. So in your packets for today, you will have a sheet that looks like this. And if you want to find out more about the lion, you take that out and go through it. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Pastor Shirley, for reminding us that we need to be patient. I especially need that for my little brother and older sister. How about you, Koa? Are you patient?
Not always as patient as I could be. Next time I see something about a lion, I'll be reminded that I need to be patient. I Up next this afternoon is animal art.
You need a paper, a pencil, a pen, or a black marker. So get them out and have them ready.
Hello kids, and welcome to the animal drawing session. Today we're going to be drawing a lion, which you just learned about, right? And we learned about how lionesses are very patient when it comes to hunting for their prey, just like we need to be patient and wait for God to come. So I hope you'll be patient with me as I walk you through drawing a lion. We are going to start with a nice little line right at the bottom of our paper. Just a little bit above the bottom. Doesn't matter too much where it is. All right. And then, and feel free to pause at any time if you need to take a little longer on one of the steps. It's okay. All right. So now we're going to draw a nice little circle right about here. Just a little bit above our line over to the right side of our paper. Just a nice little circle about the size of a dime. Just like that. Doesn't need to be perfect. Keep it nice and loose and sketchy. And then just to the left of it, we're going to draw an oval, a big tall oval, about that big. Something like that. Yeah, that looks good. And then right at the top of that oval, off to the corner, just a little bit to the left corner, we're going to draw another circle that's just a little bit smaller than the first circle we drew. Just like that. And now we're going to connect the lines, or the little circles. So starting with the bottom, from the very bottom of the oval to the bottom of the circle, we are going to draw a bit of almost like a sideways S. So we're going to curve up and then back down, just like that. So it's like a little wave, just like that. And on the top, we're just going to do a curved line like that. That kind of curves down towards the bottom. Just like that. All right. Now, we're going to get started on the legs. We're going to start with the hind legs first. And to do that, we're going to take this circle right here that we started with, and we are going to draw a little oval that's kind of angling out that way just a little bit. Doesn't mean too far angled, but just a little tiny bit. And we're just going to extend the circle into an oval, just like that. And then right below, it's like if we went from that dot right there where this line comes down like that, and we just go basically straight down right here, we're going to draw a rectangle that goes almost down to our starting line, but not quite. Just like that. A pretty skinny rectangle, but you still want it big enough and wide enough that it doesn't look like he's standing on a toothpick. And then at the bottom of the oval, or the rectangle, we're going to draw a nice little oval, just like that. Just a nice little oval. And then we're going to smooth out our lines. So where the rectangle meets the first oval, we're going to just going to smooth it out a little bit right there in the front and in the back. And in the back, you want to make sure that you bring it in far enough that you can still see the corner of the rectangle like that. And then bring the rectangle down, just like that. So we're just going to smooth it out a little bit. All right. And then we're going to do the other hind leg. So we're going to start with like we did before. This time we're going to make the oval going out back like this. So we're going to take the circle that we started with and extend it into the oval, just like that. Just like we did with the first leg, we're going to do the same with the last leg. And then right at the very base of that oval, we're going to draw another rectangle, just like we did before. Just like that. This time it's going to be a little bit higher than the first rectangle we did, just off to the side. And then we're going to draw another oval right there. And then like before, we're going to smooth out our lines. Again, on the back of where we're smoothing it out from the oval to the rectangle, we want to make sure that we only smooth it out enough, but not too much that we can't see the corner of the rectangle. We still want to be able to see the corner, just like that. Smooth everything out so it's all one part, and that's the back legs. And you can just draw 2 little lines on the front one, and on the back one we're just going to do 1 little line to show the toes. Cute little toes. All right, and now we're going to get working on the front legs. So at the very base of this first oval, the first big oval we did here at the front of the lion, right at the very bottom of it, we're going to draw another oval. This time a lot smaller than this one up here. Make it a lot smaller, about that big. And then from there, we're going to draw another rectangle from the bottom of that oval down like that. Just like that. And then at the bottom of that, we're going to make the paw by drawing another oval. And then like the back legs, we're just going to smooth it out a little bit. Make sure it blends all together. Just like that. And then the last leg that we're going to do, last front leg, it's going to be kind of curling back behind it, right here. So we're going to start by drawing another oval going horizontally instead of vertically, just like that, right next to the front one that we just did. And then we're going to draw a little C shape right there to connect it to the body, just like that. And then some little details. We'll add the little toes to this one that's going straight down. And we'll just add we'll add another little oval right here to show the little bottom of the paw. And then little toes, just like that. All right, now let's work on the head. So moving on up to this circle up here, we are going to draw another circle right next to it. This time a little bit smaller than that one before, just like that. And then you're going to connect only the tops of the circles, just along like that. And we're not going to be connecting the bottom. We're just going to keep it curved like this. And now we're going to draw a nice little nose, a little sideways triangle right there, and a little mouth. I'm going to make mine smiling. You can make it grumpy or sad or happy. I'm going to make mine happy, just like that. So a little smile right there, a little triangle nose. And then we're going to do the eyes. So to start with the eye, we're going to go right about here, and we're going to do a little check mark. Like that. We're going to do a little check mark right there. And then towards the middle of the check mark, we're going to add a little dot. Look how proud he looks. Just like that. And then at the back, we're going to do another little curve and a little curve inside of it to make the ear. Just like that. And then we're going to do the mane. So starting right in the middle of his head, of the top of his head, we're going to curve up and around. You can make this as big or as small as you want. And you just keep going all the way around until you make it to the front of his chest. And then starting at the bottom of his head, right in this little crook right here, we're going to do another little curve going out like this, just like that. And there we have his mane. And then you can add any little details you want. It's like I'm going to add some little like fur stripes, like that, just some little bits. You can add some little spikes to his hair, if it's going to be spiky, whatever you want, just like that. And then the last finishing thing we're going to do is we're going to draw his tail. So we're going to make it a nice tall tail because he's super proud and happy. So we're going to do a backwards C shape coming up like this. Right off the back like that. And then starting a little bit below that, we're going to make another C shape connecting to the top of the one we did before. Just like that. And then at the top of that, we're going to add a little teardrop. And there we go, we finished the sketch. And now we're going to take our pen and we're going to outline it all. I've got a fancy pen here, but you can use whatever pen you want. You can use a marker or a fancy pen like this one, or just a ballpoint pen. Anything will work. Now we're just going to outline everything. So let's start with a head and work our way down. So we're just going to go all the way around everything. And if you want to take time, now is a great time to pause and outline everything. So I'm just going to continue on around. Drawing out all the little details, just like that. Little streaks in his hair. And then I'm going to do his chest and his front leg down to his paw. Just like that. And we're not going to be outlining the circles and ovals that we did before. We're going to be erasing those after. So we're just going to do the outside and the little details. So like the little toes, the little paw pad, then going into his belly, and then his back leg, down to his paw. And then to his back, and back around. Just going around everything that we did before. And then finishing up with his tail. And then my little hair streaks to the tail. And then there we go. We finished outlining everything, and now we just go through and erase all of our pencil. So starting up at the head where I know the ink is dried, I'm going to go and just start erasing everything. The cool thing about this is that the pencil erases, but the pen does not. So we get rid of all of the little strokes and stuff like that, and then we end up with a nice, neat drawing of a lion. So I'm just going to do a little quick erase. You can take as long as you want with erasing it. Doesn't matter too much. And then there we go. We have our lion. And then the last final thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be writing our name. Down at the bottom or wherever you want it, just write your name to show that it's yours. And there we go.
That was tremendous fun. You made it so easy for us to draw a lion. Thank you for teaching us more about God's creation, the lion.
Today we are going to do something that we have never done before. Koa, have you ever been on a Zoofari? Neither have I. This is going to be exciting.
In a moment, we are going to visit Wildlife Safari in Winston, Oregon. Wildlife Safari is home to over 600 animals from approximately 100 different species. Today, we are going to visit them. Hang on to your Jeep, and whatever you do, don't get out of your vehicle.
Hi guys, my name is Carissa. Welcome to the Wildlife Safari. I am one of the lion trainers that we have here at the park. And I have another one of our lion trainers here. This is Bryce. He's going to be doing a little bit of training with our lion girls that we have here today. So I'll have him go ahead and start with one of our females, and we'll just come up and learn a little bit about our African lions that we have here at the safari. So this here is Serafina. So she is just doing a couple natural behaviors that we ask our lions for, just to make sure that they are in really good condition. So we're able to look at her paws. We're able to look at the pads of her feet and her claws, just in that motion, which is really cool, really important for us at Safari, just to make sure that our lions are in really good condition. So what she's eating right now is just some red raw meat. These guys aren't going to be getting their meat cooked like you guys would have it at home. Instead, these guys are true carnivores. All they're going to be eating is red raw meat. So this is a really big up behavior that Bryce just asked Serafina for. So super important just for us to make sure that they are moving really well. We could check out her belly, and if we have a pregnant female, she's showing off her teeth right now. If we had a pregnant female, then we would be able to check out her little baby bump, make sure that everything is kind of developing properly. So now that Serafina is done, she doesn't think that she should be done right now. We are going to be training her sister Matai. So both these girls are 9 years old. They came to our safari from a zoo in St. Louis. We'll just kind of wait and see if Matai will actually get a chance to be able to train a little bit today. They get along super well. They are what we call food motivated. So they're always very ready to go and get snacks from our trainers. So whenever there is a training session to be done, the girls are gonna be there, all up in each other's faces. Kind of some ways that you could tell them apart are just their coloration. Serafina, who is on the left right now, she is a little bit more orange than her sister Matai, who is a little lighter. Matai also has a bunch of spots on her nose. If we look at Serafina, you can see she has a few spots, but not a ton. So lions do not have the ability to purr at all, kind of like your house cats would be able to. So all the vocalizations that these guys are gonna make are gonna be pretty loud sounding. They can roar very loudly, and those roars are gonna be heard from many miles away, 5 miles or so. And it's how lions communicate to each other and just to the other animals in the savannah. So we'll just kind of hang back and kind of watch them a little bit. So you can see in the enclosure that we have for them today, we have a really cool rock in the back that they are able to rest on. They enjoy sunning themselves. Lions sleep a lot. They're going to be sleeping around 18 to 20 hours a day. So that's a lot of cat naps. So she's just kind of licking the fence. There's a little bit of the meat on there that she's getting every last morsel that she can. But I was saying how much they sleep, and they're going to be spending the rest of that time during the day hunting or just kind of taking care of their cubs or their young whenever they do have them. When they are hunting, the ladies are all going to be majority doing the hunting for the pride, and that is the family name of the group of lions that does live together. That is a pride, and the pride is going to have usually an alpha male. In our safari at our park, we have Savo, who is one of the males that we kind of have in another enclosure a little further away. He is our alpha male, and he lives with his brother. And him and Inzy are both 8 years old, and we actually got them from another facility, and they came over to our park to do breeding with our females. So these guys will go after anything out in the wild that they can catch. So they'll go after zebra or any small pigs that might be out there. So she's just saying hi to you guys. They're going to be mainly hunting during night, dusk, or dawn. If you kind of look at her eyes, Serafina, you want to look over here? So right under her eyes, you can see a little bit of white eyeliner. So not only does it make her look gorgeous, but it helps to reflect light into her eyes when she is hunting. So that's something that's pretty cool about them. Something that is similar between them and your house cats is the fact that they do have retractable claws. So we'll kind of look at her paws a little bit, and you guys might have seen her claws a little bit while she and her sister were training. But that is really important just to make sure that those claws are staying super sharp and they're able to bring down their dinner for their cubs. So when lion females do have cubs, they're all going to be staying with the pride. All those females will stay with the pride. And then the males are going to be kicked out of the pride actually at around 2 or 3 years of age. And they go off to try to find their own group of lions to join up with or to make their own pride and find some ladies to join them as well, which is pretty cool. But these guys, there's about 20,000 lions left out in the wild. So some things that you guys can do to help lions is just by learning about them, coming to the wildlife safari or reading cool and fun books that you might find at the library all about lions. And there are conservation groups that you guys can definitely donate to help them as well. So she's just looking at you guys. She's like, okay, you gave me snacks and then you stopped giving me snacks, but you're still here. Are you going to let me take a nap now? Or what's the plan? Not sure. But one thing that you guys probably know about lions is male lions have a really big mane. And that mane is important for a couple reasons. It is going to be for protection. So if lion males are fighting each other out on the savannah, or if there's a threat to the pride, those lion males need to make sure that they have their throats protected. And so that is really helpful for that. And another thing is just attractive level. If a male lion has a really dark mane, they're probably going to be attracting more females to be their mates. And that just means that they're going to be able to breed more and have more offspring out on the savannah. So it's really important for a male lion to have a really dark mane. And that just means that he's going to have more testosterone, which is really important for him.
And do we have any male lions at Safari?
We have 2 male lions. Savo and Inzi are in that back enclosure. But we have Serafina that's hanging out with us, and she's being very sweet. You can see that her sister Matai, will kind of zoom in on her a little bit real quick. Went over to sun herself a little bit on that Pride Rock. So she's going to be hanging out there for quite a while, just enjoying the day. They do have a little bit of shade in this yard just over on the side, and we do have a tree in there as well for them. And they have that in this pretty little stream, which I think is really cool. So some things that we're able to do here at the safari is give our animals lots of different forms of enrichment. So enrichment is going to be anything new that we could put out into their area. It could be a new scent. It can be a new thing to look at. Sometimes we will be able to collect fecals or poop from other animals that we have at the safari. So rhinos or elephants. We could freeze that for a bit and then we spread it in their yards, and that might sound kind of gross, but they absolutely love it. They will roll around in it and just sleep on top of it. It's honestly kind of gross, but it's also pretty cool. The enrichment that our lions got today, we gave them some red raw meat chunks in egg cartons, and we were able to hide those out in their yard for them to go and sniff out and eat up. And they definitely like that. They also have bowling balls that sometimes we'll put into their water buckets. And Serafina loves being able to reach her paws into the water and pull that bowling ball out, which is pretty cool and nifty for her. But Thank you guys so much for coming to the safari today. My name was Carissa. This is Serafina, her sister Matai back there. And yeah, hope that you guys learned a little something about lions and that you guys have a wonderful day.
I've learned so much more about God's amazing lions today.
And now for one last treat written for us especially by Pastor Dick Duerksen, who just loves telling stories. Today's story is about Halana. Our puppeteers come to us all the way from Tacoma, Washington. Thank you, Pastor Bren and the team.
Hello, Rachel and Adam. Are you ready to go out on a safari today?
Yes. Where are we going today, Ranger Tracy?
Today we're going to drive out to a rocky hill where we may find some big, bright, active, and happy lions.
Lions?
I was out there a few days ago and saw several lions and almost a dozen lion cubs playing together in the rocks.
Are lions safe, especially when they have cubs?
Let me tell you a story about that. It's a story about a 12-year-old girl named Halana. Halana lived in a village way off in Africa's Masai Mara, where all her people were cattle herders.
I'll bet Halana helped herd the cattle, right?
You're right. Halana, along with her sisters and brothers, were all given jobs out in the field. Every day, they would get their herding sticks and walk the cattle to where there was a bit of green grass.
They stayed there the whole day? What did they do all that time?
All day, till near sundown, when they would walk the cows back home again. Usually, they would spend their time watching for lions and hyenas.
And watching the clouds slip by through the skies. Ha ha ha!
But Halana did more. Halana wanted to leave her village and go to the special girls' school that was about 3 days away. Someone had given her a small book, and she spent most of the day trying to read it.
Did she already know how to read?
Yes, but only a little bit. So every day, she would look at the book's pictures and try to understand the words. Then, when she got home, she would beg her parents to let her go to the school.
I'll bet they didn't want her to go to school.
You're right, Adam. They said, no, you must stay with the cattle. You cannot go to school. Life went on this way for almost a year. Then, one evening, Halana's mother told her that she could go to the school, but she would need to walk there on her own since everyone else was busy caring for the cattle.
Lucky Halana! She got to go to school!
But remember, Rachel, the school is a 3 days walk from the village.
The next morning, Halana said goodbye and began to walk to school. She walked all day.
In the hot sun?
With the lions watching her.
Halana was a big girl, so she wasn't afraid during the day. But when the sun set and the night got dark and cold, Halana was very tired and she was very scared.
I can see her eating her small sandwich and then snuggling down behind a rock.
Or under a bush.
She must have prayed a lot to God for protection and safety. I can almost hear her.
Dear God, I don't know much about you, but I've heard that you care for little kids like me. Please protect me tonight out here on the Mara. I'm scared. Please save me from the lions.
Thanks for joining us, Alana. What happened that night?
I was afraid, especially since I had heard some lions roaring. So I wrapped tightly in my blanket, crawled down beneath a large bush, and reminded God that He needed to keep me safe.
You tried to be as small as possible?
Yes, but I was very far from home, very afraid and very tired. But when I remembered that I had asked God for protection, I went right to sleep.
Halana was so tired, she didn't hear anything during the night.
When I woke up, there was something lying right next to me, really close to me, like an extra blanket. It was alive and breathing softly, like it was still sound asleep.
What did you do? Were you afraid?
I was terrified. I slipped a hand out of my blanket and reached out to see what had come to sleep beside me. My hands touched something very large and furry and warm. Something that moved a bit when I rubbed it. Something that snored like a great big cat.
Cat?
Sometime during the night, God sent a huge Mara lion to find Alana and snuggle in beside her to keep her safe from all the night's dangers.
He was the nicest lion ever.
When Alana saw the lion, she got up quietly, put her blanket in her pack, and tiptoed away.
Were you afraid?
Yes, a little, but not of the lion. She was obviously a friend because God answered my prayers and sent her to keep me safe.
God loves us and saves us.
Always.
Always.
Wasn't Halana's story so amazing? We look forward to meeting with you tomorrow. Let's thank Jesus for his special creatures. Dear Jesus, thank you that you love us and you saved us. We thank you for your creation. Amen.
Amen.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.